Hello. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Present.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Here.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Here.
Councilman Marcocha?
Here.
Supervisor Colavita?
Here. All right, thank you all for joining us this evening. What I'd like to do on our first matter is to call upon the Chief of Police and ask him to say a couple words about our prospective candidate before we take action. Chief Rodriguez.
Good evening, Supervisor Colavita, members of the town board. As you know, we did approve the hire of David McCain. We received a lot of resumes and over the past couple months to fill positions, and honestly, nobody came more highly recommended than David. Everybody we called, everybody we turned to, said he's one of the nicest people that they had ever met. He's honest, hardworking. He comes with previous law enforcement experience, and he's on the road now. He's hit the ground running, so we're very happy to have him aboard. Thank you and the board for the support, and we wish him a long, safe, and healthy career.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, someone can make a motion on approval of Mr. McCain?
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Congratulations. I'll ask you to step forward. I can swear you in. The Chief did this right. Please stay here. Please raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, David McCain,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the laws of the State of New York,
the laws in the state of New York,
the laws of the Town of Eastchester,
the laws in the town of Eastchester,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
my duties as an Eastchester police officer
my duties as an Eastchester police officer
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, David.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, it's always a pleasure to swear in new officers, and we wish you the very best in your career, much safety, and of course, you have a great responsibility ahead of you, so we know you're going to do a great job and really appreciate you coming on board to the town of Eastchester. And we will be perfectly comfortable if you decide you want to leave now instead of sitting through our agenda. We're not going to have you sit through it, it's okay. But congratulations to you, and we wish you the very best of luck. Thank you, Dave. Okay. All right, so we'll move on to the opportunity to address the board on a specific agenda item. Anybody? All right, there being none, we'll move forward to the approval of the minutes of the January 2nd, 2024 meeting. Any modifications or amendments? No, there being none, someone can make a motion to approve same as submitted.
So moved.
All right, I'll second same. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next, we have the reports of departments, boards, and commissions. Police Department report. By the way, while Joe's making his way up, we can receive and file the annual report and the December 2023 report as well. Chief?
Good evening again. Only a couple things to report. One, our traffic unit is going to be begin to do directed enforcement in different neighborhoods based on complaints. Right now, we are focusing on the Lake Isle Estates neighborhood. So if you see us there, the main purpose is to, slow traffic down, make sure everybody's stopping at the stop signs. So we ask residents and visitors just to be aware. We have received a large amount of complaints from that neighborhood, so we're trying to address it, as quickly and enforce as much as we possibly can. And then the second thing is I want to thank Rocco and his department and the supervisor. As we know, the 2 to 6 parking regulations have gone away for now, but the last snowstorms we've had, it actually really worked out well. The officers were out there, handing out summonses if you're not moved in a snow emergency. So again, it worked out, and us working with the Highway Department and the town board came to a good resolution. So.
Thank you. Anything further for the chief? Thank you, Chief Rodriguez. Appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Rader, Law Department report.
Yes, good evening. First, I have a resolution authorizing the supervisor to execute and deliver an agreement between the town of Eastchester and Facilities Maintenance Corporation so that they may provide cleaning and maintenance service for certain town facilities.
Yeah, this is predominantly in the police department, and it's $2,596 a month, which is a lot less than we would have to pay if we had to hire someone to do this. Keeping in mind, of course, that the police department is open and generates, garbage and use of the facilities 24 hours a day. So it's like 3 days for every day that passes by on the calendar. So I'll make the motion to approve this and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye.
Okay, next, I have a resolution authorizing the settlement of a certiorari proceeding instituted by Westchester Funeral Home, affecting the premises known as Section 74, Block 2, Lot 11, 190 Main Street. The assessment years on this property are 2018 through 2023, tax years 2019 through 2024, and the total town tax refund on this property is $999.88.
So moved.
Second. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next is the Highway Department report. We have the written report. Mr. Latella, anything to add? Great job today. Thank you. We were on the fence last night about on-street parking, but Rocco's got some magic connection to the heavens to determine exactly how much snow we're getting, and he made the proper call. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and members of the town board. I would like to report we have had 2 snowstorms to date. Our crews work diligently to provide safe and passable roads. A reminder for our residents to enroll in the Smart 911 alert system. The importance of this notification during these storms and weather events is vital for our crews to perform their duties. Our 2023 sanitation and recycling schedules were mailed to residents. If you did not receive a schedule, please reach out to our department. One will be delivered to you. Christmas trees and yard waste pickup will be collected on an unscheduled basis throughout the winter months. I'd like to report the Highway Maintenance Garage addition has been completed. The construction has been completed. This gives the department the ability to be more productive and efficient in our repairs in this facility. The ability to be self-sufficient in our repairs has decreased the amount of time that equipment is not in use. Keeping our equipment prepared for use is our #1 priority. I commend and thank the department for the great work and service provided to our residents. I have nothing further to report.
Yeah, I'd like to mention also that Mr. Latella was elected as Vice President of the Westchester and Putnam Counties Associations of Town Superintendents of Highways, which is a nice honor, and I appreciate that you're participating in those organizations in addition to your duties down here, because you always pick up information and, you figure out how other people do things. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, and of course, we can perfect what everybody else does incorrectly because we're the best. But I appreciate your effort and time, and thank you very much, Rock.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we have the receiver of taxes report for December. We can receive and file that together with the clerk's report. Anything supplemental or additional?
No, just on the clerk's report, from my standpoint, I'll be attending a training session in Albany the next couple of days, and they'll be going over things such as vital records, open meetings, FOIA requests, minutes, records management, et cetera. So
right.
what I don't know, I'll learn.
Good luck. Okay, good notes. Okay, correspondence. We have a memorandum for the controller on part-time seasonal employees. Someone care to make a motion?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next is a memorandum from the library director regarding permission to go to bid for the conversion of the 2 public bathrooms to ADA-compliant restrooms. And of course, we need to follow the law, particularly with ADA compliance. And this is for permission for the library to go to bid. And we've secured the funds through a New York State construction grant, and matching funds will be provided by the library's fund balance. So someone care to make a motion authorizing the Eastchester Public Library to go out to bid for the conversion of 2 public bathrooms into ADA-compliant restrooms?
So moved.
Second.
Great. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, the memorandum from the Superintendent of Highways regarding permission to go to bid for a tree service contract. And every year, we go to bid, and there's a lot of tree work that gets done in the town of Eastchester, trimming, felling trees, just examining trees to make sure they're healthy. And Mr. Latello is asking that we go out to bid on this. So I'll make the motion authorizing the Highway Department to go to bid for tree services contract for this year, and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, the memorandum from the assessor regarding tax map maintenance contract, and this is a very simple contract. It's in the amount of $15,860, and the assessor's office will provide the funds for this, which have been budgeted. And this is generally for the purposes of continuously amending the tax map of the town of Eastchester. And there's all kinds of subdivisions, redivisions, swapping of lands, people move boundary lines over between neighbors. There's all kinds of things happening for the 9,000 parcels within the town. And for a little while there, back 15, 20 years ago, it wasn't being maintained, and it was chaotic when it came to people that were selling their homes or refinancing, because title companies come in, they look at the tax map, they provide the tax map with all tax information, and, you got to make sure it's all tight and ready to go and in good order. So this is for the 2024 Tax Map Maintenance Services Agreement with MRB Group for the amount I mentioned earlier, and funds have been provided for in the budget. Someone care to make a motion on this?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next matter normally is in miscellaneous, but it's in our correspondence, and this is just to, due to the February recess, we're going to have a single meeting on February 6th at 7:30 in this room for the town board for the month of February. So someone care to make a motion?
So moved. Second.
Thanks. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. There being no business, miscellaneous business, we have council member reports. Councilman Markocha?
Thank you, Supervisor. I just wanted to announce that ECAP hosted its annual Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast. It's actually the first breakfast in the last, since 3 years, since COVID. So for 3 years, we haven't had it. And it was just a great event. It was very well attended. And it's also a fundraiser for ECAP, who provides a very needed service, a food pantry, some after-school programs for kids. And it has all types of outreach programs. So, and they really do help a lot of people in this community and the surrounding community. So it was just a job well done at the breakfast, and it raised some money for ECAP as well. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Nicholson?
Thank you, Supervisor. I have a light agenda tonight. I just want to remind again our residents of Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and Bronxville to slow down our town and obey the stop signs and the red lights, and of course, no texting and driving. That is all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Thank you, Supervisor. Just briefly, for the Eastchester Senior Citizen Department, I wanted to mention that there was a program that was originally scheduled for January 9th. It was for estate planning, health care, and elder care mediation. It was canceled because of the storm, but I know the Senior Citizen Director is working to reschedule that, so keep your eye on the website. It's a great seminar filled with a ton of information. Hopefully, it will be rescheduled for February. Also, this coming Saturday, January 27th, this is also a program for the seniors in conjunction with the Eastchester Athletic Council. It is their annual senior dance, which is a lot of fun. It's for the Eastchester senior citizens. It will be in the cafeteria of the Eastchester High School. It starts at 4 o'clock, and it's an evening filled with food and dance. If you are planning on attending as a senior citizen, they do ask that you enter from the rear by the turf field and the cafeteria doors, excuse me. I also want to acknowledge Cottle School on behalf of the Historical Society. Last Friday, we had 75 first graders attend the one-room schoolhouse. So that was a great day. It was a lot of fun, a lot of learning. It coincides with the state curriculum, I believe, which is local history and colonial times. So we had 75 first graders experience the one-room schoolhouse, which is what it was like a day in an 1835 room schoolhouse. So that was a lot of fun. And we're working, hopefully Eastchester schools will be coming, and I know Immaculate Conception is coming in February. So busy time for the Historical Society. And then just lastly, a plug for the Snow Angels. We had a flurry of phone calls today. Teresa, Councilwoman Nicholson may have also. It's always helpful to request your angel if you need one before it snows. It's hard to scramble when the snow is falling to get someone to go to your house and shovel you out if you need assistance, and we want to be there for you. It is a great program. So if you do need assistance, either temporarily or just for the rest of the season, please reach out. The email is tuckahouse.snowangels@yahoo.com, and we'll be happy to try to set you up with somebody. And that concludes my report, Supervisor.
Thank you. Councilman Giacobbe.
Thank you, Supervisor. I just want to say thank you to our Highway Department again. I think I woke up 6 o'clock this morning. I looked outside, and the streets were already in great condition. So thank you to our crews. I was down there on Friday with Rocco, gave me a tour of everything, and it was good to see all the crews getting all the trucks ready to prepare for the storm, which was 4 days out. So thank you to all the crews. I talked to Sally Valtiti, our Parks and Recreation Superintendent, today. She advised me information on our summer camps are being worked on right now with all different school districts, and there'll be more information on that early February. Please follow the Park and Recreation's Instagram at Eastchester Recreation, or go on the website, our website, eastchester.org, and look for Parks and Recreation for more information on that. Now's a good time to start thinking spring and summer. I know a lot of our different sports leagues are opening up registrations for the spring this week and next week, so look out for that if you want to put your kids in sports, all different sports programs from baseball to soccer to lacrosse. So go ahead and look for all that opening up now. And also, if you're looking for a Broadway show, this Friday and Saturday, the Eastchester Middle School Players Club is putting on a performance, Beauty and the Beast, at 7 o'clock. There's over 100 cast members for the middle school, which is the biggest in history. You can buy your tickets at www.eastchester.booktix.net. You can pick your day, Friday or Saturday. I know I'm going with my family on Friday, so we're looking forward to it. So that concludes my report for today.
Thank you. For my own report, two things I wanted to mention. First, I think we can close our meeting with a moment of silence for retired police officer Chris Sharek, who died this week, and he will be missed. He was a great officer, and it's a shame that he passed away at such a young age. So we'll certainly adjourn in a moment of silence for Chris. Also, I'm glad Mr. Giacobbe had mentioned the sports leagues in town. There has been much opinion and commentary about the town's enforcement of the non-resident ineligibility policy for permitted sports leagues and recreation programs which use town-owned, taxpayer-funded fields. And I want to make a couple of comments about that. To begin with, the town has spent and continues to spend millions of Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and Bronxville taxpayer dollars on town-owned fields that are used by sports leagues and town-sponsored sporting events. We have excellent fields because of the constant renovations and improvements made to each of the fields, courtesy of the taxpayers of Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and Bronxville. Unfortunately, we have a very limited number of fields and no gyms. The town does not own a gym. If you are or have been involved in one of the many leagues in town, as all of us have, you are acutely aware of the shortage of field space and the wear and tear on the fields each season. A lot of leagues now have fall and spring and summer programming in addition to their primary season. Also, I'd like to mention that, as we're all aware, there's a significant parking and traffic issue around the fields, which a lot of residents, bear the brunt of. The Eastchester Sports Council was formed as a result of the pirating of fields years ago when it was a total free-for-all because of the shortage of space. Now, regarding the particular problem, we have experienced, now what we're learning is there's, a lot of non-residents that have been enrolled in the sports programs within the town, and it's very impactful. So if you were to just take, say, 200 non-residents, right, and that number is a very conservative number from what we're understanding, and those 200 kids are spread across all the leagues, and you divide that by 12 or 14, which is a number of an average team, you get about 15 extra teams each season. And each of those 15 teams needs about 30 hours of practice time, probably more, and 30 hours of game time. You know, you figure 2 hours for practice, 2 hours for a game. All of that adds up to approximately 900 hours each season of required practice time and game time. Now, if you drop that in half because you use 2-hour increments, that's 450 units of practice and game time required over and above for non-residents. Yet we still have the same number of fields to accommodate everybody, and they're not enough to begin with. Clearly, there's not enough field space to accommodate both residents and non-residents. And also, this is not a new policy, not a new policy at all. This has been in effect for decades, back to even when I was a player. It is also the policy of all the surrounding towns and cities to Eastchester. And the law is well settled, too. Towns have the right to limit the use of town-owned, taxpayer-funded facilities to residents only on permitted events like we're talking about. And, you know, we're not talking about open parks, we're not talking about festivals or parades or other special events, but rather permitted time on very limited town-owned, taxpayer-funded fields. And, you know, the town has the right, frankly, the obligation to determine usage. I'd also want to mention that, you know, the problem started when the leagues permitted non-resident enrollment. It was never the policy of the town to permit non-resident enrollment in all of these sports leagues. It's completely contrary to the residency requirement that has been in effect, and the leagues, frankly, knew better. In 2022, the leagues were advised that the non-resident eligibility was going to be enforced in 2024, and that current non-resident kids would be grandfathered in until 2024. That should have been disclosed by the leagues to the non-resident families so that they could start to, you know, move over, migrate over to other sports programs in surrounding communities. Also, the town is not bound by the regulations of Babe Ruth League or Pop Warner or Little League International. You know, we have our own policy here, and those policies do not circumvent the town's policy. I actually spoke with Little League International about this subject matter because they had reached out to the town to ask about what was going on because parents were complaining, but of course they got half the facts from the parents. And as soon as the gentleman, the regional director, or I forget the exact title, understood that these are town-owned, taxpayer-funded fields, he said, no problem. We have no issues. You guys continue, do what you have to do. We're okay. No problem with it whatsoever. And as I mentioned earlier, the town uses fields and gyms owned by the 3 public school districts, and they require us, as a condition of using their facilities, to permit enrollment of their non-resident students to attend their school, whether it be like, you know, the child of a teacher or administrator or an employee of the school district, or through tuition. Presently, there is a very, very small number of students in that category. And I don't believe more than 1 or 2 are actually enrolled in the sports programs in the town. There is virtually no impact whatsoever for that category. And the schools require it as a condition of us using their facilities. The schools also use our facilities, but they want to include those students. I'd also like to mention, too, that we've all experienced parents expressing their frustrations to us about the non-resident policy. And, you know, they don't want to go to the league, so they don't want to have a problem with the league or have their kid, you know, not play anymore or whatever the case might be. But they've all indicated that they are tired of non-residents playing while their kid sits on a bench on a field that they pay for. Or for that matter, that the non-resident kids are making travel teams and their kids are home. And, you know, there's a whole dynamic there that parents are very frustrated about. And, you know, I don't blame them. Also, you know, if you saw some of the email chains going around and some of the stuff that was out there, you'd be very upset because it's very toxic. This is not about race. This is not about attacking parochial school kids or any other nonsense peddled out there by these people. The town is simply solving field shortage issues by ensuring taxpayer-funded fields are available to our residents, which is our right under the law and our obligation. You know, people should not have an expectation or an sense of entitlement that your child can play in a league that, you don't reside in the town. When I was a kid, I went to Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic School in Scarsdale. I didn't have any expectation or sense of entitlement to play Scarsdale Little League, even though all the kids in my school were predominantly Scarsdale kids. Why? Because I didn't live there. It was pretty simple. There was no expectation that I had a right to do that. Now, unfortunately, the leagues let everybody in when they shouldn't have, and that's created a lot of ill will because now parents are being told they can't participate. I want to mention too that this is not easy to do, but it's necessary. And also, by no means are we not appreciative of all the efforts of non-residents that spent time, coaching or doing, whatever they had to do for the league, supporting the leagues. This is not about that. This is not about, trying to send a message not to come to our stores or restaurants. It's nothing like that. It's just saving field time for the people that own the fields and pay for those fields. And, we fortunately have tons of little leagues and basketball leagues and football leagues in all the communities that surround us. So there's no reason why a young person can't go out and have a great time playing sports for a team in a place where they reside or whatever their other policy is. But I just wanted to address a couple of those issues. There is a lot more we could talk about. There's a lot of different things we could go over. But, we want to just be clear that is the town's policy as ratified by the Sports Council, as ratified by the Eastchester Recreation Advisory Board and this town board. So I hope that clarifies some issues and people are not, speaking about things in a false sense. Anyway, that concludes my report, and that brings us to the opportunity to address the board.
How you doing? Sean Nails, 24 Crawford Street. I'm just kind of here for my usual update for the Crawford Street water issues. Any updates? I'm assuming we're just waiting for the...
Correct. I know a lot of reports are all in, and these guys are now doing their calculations. So
Okay.
I think the raw data that they needed to generate these reports is all in. It's all being crunched now.
Okay.
And I understand also I was by the house there the other night and chased down by
Yeah, my
bike.
buddy chased it down. He got you. It was on the ring. We have it on our ring.
I know. What kind of wacko is out at 11 o'clock at night with a flashlight looking at the back of your house? Sorry about that. I should
you're
have let you know ahead of time. But it was good, though. That wasn't that bad, thank God.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't have any episodes until we get this thing rectified. But that's where we are. I'll reach out to Mr. Chimelli to see exactly where he is. I'll get back to you guys during the day tomorrow.
Okay. You think there would be any committee or something that we could get on that would, so we would have this information without having to, come here and aggregate?
That's okay, though, but I had mentioned to Mike and yourself,
Yeah.
we will keep you in the loop.
Okay.
At each iteration of this process, we'll get together. Last time we had talked, we'd spoken about,
Yeah.
things we're gonna do, all written down. And so we'll just keep involving you guys on emails, and you can come and be involved and
I
partner.
love the forward momentum, everything.
Yep, it's
I
rolling.
appreciate it, yeah.
No problem.
And I don't know about, is there any, a way we can maybe make a formal complaint about Iona? Because it's all kind of starting from them.
Well, if you recall correctly, Bronxville was going to take the lead on that.
Yeah.
Because they have a couple applications that are going to be pending.
Right.
And they wanted to make it clear what their intent was prior to these things moving forward.
All right.
So that was, the village manager had mentioned that was going to be his responsibility.
Because I know the Eastchester side, our side's Eastchester.
Right.
That's why I was just asking.
And the bottom of the hill is Eastchester,
Right.
little piece of Tuckahoe, and then
Yeah.
you got the top is Bronxville. But the Bronxville is the big player there.
Okay.
But look, if Mr. Palmer tells us that he's not getting any leeway, we'll sit down with them.
Okay.
We know people there. We had, we had a meeting about a year ago, and all of the Iona personnel were there.
Okay.
Their facilities managers, their security people, the gentlemen that are in charge of that particular campus. And they were a little hesitant to help out.
Yeah.
They, of course, blame infrastructure, because they
Right.
don't want to do anything. But, we'll get their attention at some point in this process.
Okay, great. And, sorry, one more. Do we know when the Bronxville, is that a big meeting where they're giving it to, all the people? I know there was a meeting prior to us in Bronxville.
Yeah, but I think they're still doing their calculations as well.
Okay.
Yeah, as you know, they had the truck down there sucking
yeah.
out the sewer lines and all, but they're not any closer to to finality.
Okay.
And of course, what we're doing now is concurrently trying to line up financing for everything.
Okay.
So should be in pretty good shape.
Really appreciate it.
No
Thank you.
problem.
And Highway Department.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
the best.
today again,
Those guys are the best. Thank you. Okay, there being no one else, would the board please, and everyone here, please rise and join us in a moment of silence as we adjourn in the memory of Christopher Schreck. Thank you very much, everyone. We're adjourned.